Bonjour! Some of you might know me, or you might know my voice. I am Claire-Marie Brisson, host of the North American Francophone Podcast, and also a collaborator with Radio Canada Alberta. And today I'm celebrating something very special. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the North American Francophone Podcast. I can hardly believe that. Because 1 year ago, I was sitting on my couch here in Charlottesville, thinking about ways I could share my own research and interests in North American Francophone issues, history, and culture with the world in a way that wasn't typed on Microsoft Word. And so I finally landed upon Buzzsprout podcast hosting, made my own website, and here I am today, 1 year later, with thefrancophone.com running strong, with many episodes and many more to come, many in the works right now that I'm sharing with people, and so many collaborations from across the miles with people in Saskatchewan, Louisiana, Quebec, Ontario, even across the globe in France, for example. I have had all kinds of discussions and interviews and exciting research come onto the podcast, and I can't wait to do more. But 1 year is so significant. 1 year really can change someone's life. And as a doctoral student at the University of Virginia, often I would feel like I was just staring at my computer screen, that I was just working with my own dissertation research and that I wasn't sharing with the world. And it brings me so much joy, and it continues to bring joy to think about the future of the North American Francophone Podcast and where it's going. As many of you know, I am applying to tenure track positions, postdoctoral positions. If you are an academic, you know exactly what this means. If you're not an academic, this is kind of a crucial stepping out point into the world as an academic. And I hope that the contributions and connections and sharing that I've had with the North American Francophone Podcast over this past year really does contribute in a meaningful way in the past, the present, and the future of these studies. I also want to highlight the important role podcasting and podcasters have played during the 2020 pandemic and lockdowns that we have had to live through all as a world. I never thought in November 2019, that my podcast could become such a friend to so many people during what has been a very dark time. And I recognize the role of podcasting. I recognize the role of podcasters in this. And as a podcaster, I want to reach out and thank each and every listener, but also thank other podcasters who are doing the same kind of work with topics that inspire them. One of the most amazing things for me has been to reach out with friends 600 plus miles away and hear back from them and hear stories about how the podcast has really affected them. Actually, just yesterday, I received a text message from a longtime friend of mine, and she was telling me what the effect of the North American Francophone Podcast is for her. And she said to me, and I'm just going to read this from the text message from my computer. She said, "I just wanted to say, I sometimes like listening to your podcasts, not only because of the content, but because I know you personally, and it feels like we're sitting together at a table and you're telling me an interesting story. It's a cozy feeling. And I hope all of you have that cozy feeling when you listen to the North American Francophone Podcast. I have learned so much from my interviews. I have learned so much from contributing to these podcasts. And I hope that in the future, as I continue with these podcasts, you feel comfortable to reach out and share with me, because the main goal of this podcast is to represent North American Francophone, French-speaking voices in their pluralities, in all of the beautiful diversity that comes forth. And I've been so happy to see the diverse perspectives that have come through, from authors to activists to young scholars or young leaders in the community. And so I hope that we continue with this, that we grow with this. And as somebody who is hopefully going to be a professor in the next couple of months, fingers crossed, I do hope that I can continue this work with my future students and in my own future research. So here's to 1 year, and here's to many, many more. Merci beaucoup. Thank you to all of you.